The father of the Las Vegas shooter was an FBI most wanted bank robber and confidence man known as Big Daddy, who was captured in Las Vegas in 1960, then escaped and lived on the run for a decade. He was described as psychopathic, armed and dangerous and suicidal, and the public were told not to approach the criminal, known also as Chrome-Domed Old Baldy. Stephen Paddock, the shooter who killed at least 58 in the Sunday night massacre, was just 7 years old and living in Arizona when his father Benjamin Paddock was nabbed by the FBI for a series of bank robberies. At the time, Stephen's mother tried desperately to shield her young son and his 3 siblings from the devastating news that their father was living a double life as a bank robber and con man. When FBI agents raided young Stephen's home in Tucson after his father's arrest, his mother took the boy swimming nearby. "We're trying to keep Steve from knowing his father is held as a bank robber," a neighbor told the Tucson Daily Citizen on July 29, 1960. "I hardly know the family, but Steve is a nice boy. It's a terrible thing." Benjamin's friends and neighbors in Arizona were said to be shocked by his secret life of crime before his 1960 arrest. Benjamin was known around Tucson as a big-hearted garbage disposal salesman who volunteered as a special deputy with the local police department, according to news reports at the time. But he was also responsible for at least 4 armed bank robberies in a 2-year span in the Phoenix area, stealing a total of $30,000. He was reportedly armed during the holdups and drove stolen cars. The law finally caught up with Benjamin in Las Vegas in July 1960, hundreds of miles from his home in Tucson. After FBI agents surrounded Benjamin in downtown Vegas, he jumped into his car and tried to run one of them over. But an agent shot through his windshield, forcing Benjamin to stop and surrender. A loaded pistol, a blackjack, and cash were found in his car, according to a news report from the time. Benjamin was sentenced to 20 years in jail for the bank robbery, confidence crime, forgery and auto theft, but he didn't stay locked up for long. He broke out of the federal correctional institution at La Tuna, Texas on New Year's Eve of 1968. His escape landed him a top spot on the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives list, which described him as armed and extremely dangerous. Described as a glib, arrogant, smooth-talking confidence man, the hulking and bald Benjamin went by a number of different aliases over the years, including the nicknames Chrome-Domed Old Baldy. A report on the FBI wanted list described him as smoking cigars and cigarettes and enjoying steaks, desserts, gambling, TV and baseball. Before his arrest for bank robbery, Benjamin was also vice president of a local hot rodder club in Tucson. He was known to hang around a young crowd at a local nightclub, where he went by the nickname Big Daddy. Neighbors and friends told the local paper that there was no evidence of Benjamin's double life of crime. He seemed like the average middle-class businessman, devoted to his home and family, a neighbor told the Tucson Daily Citizen after his arrest. Even the local sheriff was stunned by the arrest, having brought Benjamin onto the police force as a volunteer deputy. "It was quite a surprise," said Sheriff Walden Burr to the Tucson Daily Citizen. He bulged with sincerity. A Washington Post article in 1975 described his presence on the most wanted list as an embarrassment, but he was removed from the list in 1977.